honoured to be asked to launch the Palliative Care Research Network's 5-year strategy from 2017 to 2022 today on behalf of the PCRN and the Institute. The presentation will provide an overview of the strategy's vision, strategic objectives and key activity areas. The strategy sets out the direction for the development of the network over the next 5 years as a confident and successful network, building and strengthening our research community. It provides a framework for all those seeking to research within palliative care, from early career researchers to those leading and shaping international projects. The vision is that as the leading network for palliative care research on the island of Ireland, network members will undertake internationally recognised research that enhances palliative care knowledge and expertise and improves the quality of life for people with life-limiting conditions. By sharing resources, knowledge, skills and expertise in and across disciplines, we will lead the way forward and develop research that is relevant across the island of Ireland and internationally. Since its inception in 2012, the PCRN has brought together researchers in a coherent network, encouraging and supporting research across a broad range of areas of relevance to palliative and end-of-life care. The PCRN aims to offer the all-Ireland palliative care research community opportunities to create and engage within a collaborative environment, supporting the development of excellent, high-quality, clinically relevant and innovative research projects that reflect and inform and contribute to the advancement of the Institute's three main work programmes, which are integrating palliative care across the health and social care systems so people are supported as early as possible, involving with people with life-limiting conditions, carers and communities in palliative care delivery and development, and supporting the further development of specialist palliative care services for people who need them. The network has a broad membership comprised of academic and clinical researchers with experience of national and international research who have a variety of knowledge and expertise. The membership includes representatives from leading academic institutions and hospices and health organisations from across the island of Ireland. The strategy's overarching research strategic objectives are to develop a collaborative and coherent research environment and culture, support the delivery of outstanding, innovative, internationally relevant research, develop research leaders and research capacity, advance knowledge and practice for hospice and palliative care through interdisciplinary collaborations and meaningful involvement of people with life-limiting conditions and their carers, and finally to facilitate the effective translation of knowledge on the island of Ireland and internationally, demonstrating the impact of research and development programmes on policy and health priorities. The strategic objectives will be achieved through a focus on 5 key activity areas as detailed in this slide, and I'm going to go into further detail about those areas. So key activity area 1, supporting the development of a collaborative and coherent research community. This activity area builds on work to date and commits the PCRN to continuing its focus on encourage collaboration between researchers with an interest in palliative care in its broadest sense on the island of Ireland. This PCRN will continue to grow its membership to include both health researchers and wider disciplines such as ethics, law, arts and science. In addition, the PCRN will continue to hold annual symposiums, and in 2020 we'll be holding our 11th annual symposium. And we will continue to hold events and seminars to encourage network between researchers and clinicians. I'm just kind of giving an overview of some of the activity areas. Obviously there's further details in the strategies which are on your tables. Key activity area 2, which is building research leadership and capacity. The focus of this activity is on the PCRN continue to focus on supporting the palliative care research leaders of the future. A key vehicle for this is the Early Career Research Forum, which is open to researchers and practitioners in the early to mid stages of developing their research profile in palliative and end-of-life care. We are very grateful to their executive committee chaired by Dr. Bridget Johnson and Vice Chair Dr. Helen Kerr, who will oversee a programme of activity to support career progression, including a series of workshops and briefings. In addition, the PCRN will support development of thematic groups, research clusters and themed research programmes, for example in special interest groups such as condition or age-specific areas or rural communities. This will be taken forward in the first instance by developing a deeper understanding of the research interests and projects currently being undertaken by PCRN members. The Palliative Hub Professional is one of the Institute's key offerings to the PCRN, and it provides a focal point for resources to support palliative care researchers on the island of Ireland. A key focus will be on continuing to market the hub to researchers and clinicians by significantly increasing its utilisation by them. Key Activity 3, support service user, carer and community involvement. Supporting the involvement by service users, carers and communities is one of the main 3 work programme areas of the Institute, and is one of the Institute's key offerings to its partners. In 2012, the Institute established Voices for Care, a service user carer, former carer and citizens with an interest in palliative care panel in order to inform the work of the Institute. The remit of Voices for Care has continued to grow, and they are often now consulted by both Institute partners and on policy and developments within both jurisdictions on the island. In 2016, the membership of Voices for Care was refreshed, and we now have 44 panel members from across the island of Ireland. Early in 2017, a research panel subgroup was established of members with a particular interest in palliative care research. The Institute and the PCRN will develop a mechanism to ensure people with life-limiting conditions, carers and the wider community, including the Voices for Care research panel, can actively become involved in palliative care research from planning through to its evaluation. We will develop a programme of activity to support the Voices for Care research panel to contribute and support palliative care research, including the development of relevant training and supports. Key Activity 4 is effectively disseminate knowledge from research. And Suzanne Guerin has covered this area extensively today, so but supporting the dissemination and transfer of knowledge from research is of key importance in order to ensure that research informs education, practice and policy, and ultimately improves the quality of life of people with life-limiting conditions. In 2012, the Institute funded Professor George Conahan and Assistant Professor Suzanne Guerin to develop the evidence-based model for the transfer of exchange of research knowledge, also known as MTREC, which provides a model for palliative care research for transferring knowledge. In September, as mentioned earlier, we held our first, the Institute, along with George and Suzanne, we held our first workshop on the model, and the Institute will continue to support the utilisation of the model by the PCRN. The Institute's Knowledge Transfer Project Manager, Marie McKeown, will also support PCRN members with using both traditional and non-traditional knowledge transfer techniques such as social media, blogs, a wide range of techniques. Through its partnership base of 24 partners and links with key stakeholders and policymakers, the Institute is well placed to seek opportunities for PCRN members to inform policymakers and key stakeholders about research findings in order to form palliative care policy in both jurisdictions on the island of Ireland, and that is a key priority of our work. And finally, Key Activity Area 5, building sustainability of the palliative care research network. I view that this activity area is the culmination of the other areas, as the aim is to create a network which continues to grow from strength to strength and becomes internationally recognised for its palliative care research, which then ultimately impacts on service provision. One way which this will be achieved is by the PCRN continuing to collaboratively seek and secure funding for its members and partner organisations in order to fund research which meets policy and identified research priorities. Funding will also be sought to support a number of identified PCRN activities, including leadership and capacity building activities. So next steps, how will the strategy be delivered? The delivery of the strategy will be overseen by the Palliative Care Research Network's Strategic Scientific Committee, which is responsible for supporting the strategic development of the network. The membership of the Strategic Scientific Committee includes representatives from academic institutions, hospices, members of the Voices for Care Research Panel and the health funding organisations from across the island. The Scientific Committee directly feeds into the Institute's Council of Partners as well. Supporting the development of the PCRN is a key priority for the Institute, and we are well positioned to support the network with maximising the ability of palliative care research to change education and practice and inform evidence-based policy on the island. The Institute is well placed to broker relationships and support research collaborations between its 24 partners, which include universities, hospices, health and social care organisations and key stakeholders. Specifically, the research team, the Institute research team, which consists of Dr. Mary Rabbit, Programme Manager, and Dr. Jackie Boylan and Marie McKeown, who are both project managers, are in place to support the delivery of the strategy and its activity areas, with the support of the Institute's wider team, which focuses on the work programme areas of education and policy and practice, and includes raising awareness of palliative care and the Palliative Hub online resources for the public, professionals and researchers as part of the overall work programme of the Institute. And there's good links between the different teams. PCRM members will also support the delivery of the research strategy through their support and buy-in to the network, its vision, strategic objectives and key activity areas. Within the continued engagement and support for the network members, the network will continue to grow and become internationally recognised for its research, which ultimately improves the experience of people with life-limiting conditions, and that's the key focus. And finally, I have a number of thank yous to make. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Mary Rabbit, Dr. Jackie Boylan and Marie McKeown in the Institute's research team for leading on the development of the strategy, with the support of the wider Institute team, including Dr. Cathy Payne and Brendan O'Hara. I would also like to thank the PCRN Strategic Scientific Committee for overseeing the development of the strategy, along with the wider membership of the PCRN and Voices for Care Research Panel. I'd also like to thank the Health Research Board and the Public Health Agency Research and Development Division for their continued support of the PCRN, including their additional support they provided earlier within 2017. I'd also like to finally thank the Institute's 24 partners and funders, which include the HSC, whose support of the Institute enables us to continue supporting the future development of the PCRN and palliative care research on the island of Ireland. So thank you.